I've been called to this one radiator not getting hot. I whipped it off the wall to see what's going on because I wasn't getting any flow through my valves and the pipes are kinked, which sounds good, isn't it? As soon as I straighten the pipes up, you get water out of the valves into the bucket. I might just see if I can carefully cut this out and see if I can get a couple of elbows in behind. To be honest, I don't use these boxes. Like, I don't know if that's been installed like upside down or the pipe was supposed to go higher and then loop back in. I don't know, but I might just see if I can get a couple of elbows on it and straighten these pipes. It looks a bit brutal, but I think it's going to be a lot better. To be fair, they've put silver tape on it so you can sort of identify where the pipe is. You shouldn't actually take the pipe because it can eat into it, but I think I'm just going to cut it and then use 2 elbows and then swing it back in. Should be fine. I mean, it's going to work a lot better than it is. They were pretty bent over, to be fair. They've probably straightened up a little bit as I've done it. Just done them with 2 elbows. They'll just have to swing back in. I know it's not the prettiest bit of plumbing you're ever going to see, but I think the ride will work anyway. I was getting flow through both valves when the pipes are straightened, but it just wasn't like flowing around like that. Not the prettiest bit of plumbing, but you can't actually see it. Now we're done. I think this lock shield wasn't actually open all the way. I'll open it to about there. I'll get some pressure back in the system and that should be job sorted. I can't see any reason why it won't work because they were coming through both valves. Have a little bit of a tidy up and an easy one sorted. Just got the fill loop cracked open a little bit and we'll bleed this through. It's coming hot already at the bottom. Beautiful. We're out to getting hot all the way through now as well. Actually, when you come to these jobs, you think it's just going to be a stuck pin or something like that, but it turned out to be kinked pipes. It's lost 1.5 millibar, 1.54. Just been called to a smell of gas on this one. We've isolated the appliances. I'm only doing a let by at the minute, but it's still dropping on my let by. An old connection to a gas cooker which has been capped, and we've just got a boiler in there. But you see that's dropping. Well, it's dropping. It's lost another 0.6. Was it like still dropping, mate? It's lost 2 millibar in 2.5 minutes. But obviously, with the smell of gas, it's 0 you're allowed. I've sprayed all my hose as well, just to make sure it's not my hose. Gas leaves there in 22.
Found it.
You found it? Where was it?
It's on. I've just let me spray it again because there's not much pressure in
No, we've only got 8 millibar in the gas. It's on that end feed connection, is it?
Yep, I believe so.
Well, we'll turn the gas back on, we'll give that a spray. We can put the sniffer on it as well, just to confirm. But it's unusual there, isn't it? So it's leaking. So we're just going to turn this back on. And Aidan's going to give that a spray in there.
Should I spray the test nipple first?
Oh yeah, I can spray the test nipple. We've got to do another tightness test anyway, before we're done. We'll make sure there's no leaks on that, it's good practice.
There we go.
Can you see it straight away? Oh look, bubbling away. Look. Yeah. Should try and cut that out, I guess. Unsweat that, do you reckon, and put a new piece in?
Unsweat that, yeah.
We don't need to put the sniffer on that. That's leaking, isn't it? That's where the smell of gas is.
Not bad boy.
I've just disconnected this meter because when we're soldering up inside we don't want any flashbacks. So I've bonded across so we're safe on the continuity across there. So yeah, we'll get that soldered up inside. So I've just re-sweated that. I've got a little bit of a solder snot on there which we can clean off. We'll let this cool down. Yeah, I don't know why that's leaking. The boiler's been in a good few years, but in theory on a service you don't have to do a tightness test. This is why I always say you should, because it's good practice. The boiler itself looks okay, heat exchanger's not ribbed. First thing I went for was smell of gas is that, but that's been changed. Originally that would have been the ribbed one. Sometimes they can smell. But yeah, you just sort of check your basics first, case seals and stuff like that. So we're going to do another full let by and a tightness test. We allowed no drop on this because there's been a smell of gas. So I'm happy with temperature stabilisation, and then we'll just run it for a further 2 minutes. The case was also missing a screw on that boiler, so I've got a random pile of like Worcester screws in here. I've got some quick glow fuses. They're the bottom screws for the sadia, are they? But it's one of them that we need. They're the top case screws for the MRIs. Got all sorts of random bits and bobs. Got some money that doesn't even work anymore. Small pound coins, but yeah, it's always worth keeping the old screws when you take the boilers out. I always make sure to wipe off the LDF as well because we don't want it corroding the meter. But once you get the gas back on, quick spray the LDF to make sure that nipple's not leaking. So yeah, that should be job done. I do love a little block drain. This one should go fairly easily. It's a straight one. It's just thick congealed paper towels. I need to get plenty of water down this to make sure we don't get any secondary blockages and try and scoop out what I can. It went with literally one rod, but you can see all the paper towels are built up. It's them blue ones. Try and let it go and try and catch the paper towels, not let it go down. And try and fish them out if we can. Starting to get a bit of flow on it now. These manholes are all running nice and clear now, so I think that's job done. Couple of little bits to sort on this job. We just got to reseal the worktops and got this basket strainer to swap. I've got one in the van, so this is a basket strainer with overflow. I think it's just missing the thing, it's gone a little bit grubby, so they're just asking it to be sorted. We've got all this place to clean out today. The new tenants are moving in tomorrow. It's had all new carpets and stuff. So I just got to put the washing machine in as well. It's had all new vinyl floor and get it looking spick and span. I think the bath might need resealing as well. It's all been redecorated, so it's just dust. So I'm just going to clean it up and do a few little jobs and get this one sorted. I did think about just putting the middle bit in, but it's gone a bit manky out, so we'll just change the lock and then take me a minute. I can't put any water down this because there's the overflow for the sink's not connected on it anyway, is it? The washing machine, sorry, what am I talking about? Got a bit manky that one anyway, isn't it? Quite a nice little flat really. This is the one where we changed the towel ages ago now, but they've had it all redecked. Got to try and tidy this bath up as well. So on my to-do list, let's see if we can give it all a good scrub up. I've got some cleaning stuff with me anyway. I know it's not really a plumbing job, but I don't mind. All praise the Bill's done it. Yeah, not too bad. You get a lot of people moaning about doing jobs like this, but honestly, it honestly don't bother me. You know, I'm being paid. If they want to pay me to do it, I'll do it. It's easy. It's not like, yeah, I say it's not, don't take a lot of brains. Got a nice shiny basket strainer on. Make the screw any longer. This one hasn't come with a washer, so I just load that with silicone, even though I'm out. Silicone on that as well. Put silicone everywhere. The only thing you've got to watch on these is that overflow isn't too long, because if it traps water in, you can end up with a smell. So it just needs to have like a full into your waste. Just tighten it up. I say I can't test this yet until I get the washing machine plumbed in, because the waste for the washing machine's not in, and we don't want to flood the place. So that's one shiny new basket strainer with overflow. Put in, take a 2-minute job, but it looks a lot better. Just give the washing machine a good wipe down. Not that you'll see that bit, but it just looks better, doesn't it? Sometimes with these washing machines you're better off getting a bit of like lubricant underneath. I know they've left this on like the new bit of vinyl, but you can end up damaging the vinyl. So if you spray it with WD-40 or something like that, or silicone spray or anything, it makes them go in a lot easier. Will that hose go over the top? Maybe it will go over the top there. And we'll put that Jubilee clip back on there as well, but I'll just get the washing machine slid back in. Speed fit washing machine valve, Speed fit City down there, innit? Looks like they've done it on a manifold with the colds going across. I mean, it's not a bad way of plumbing it, but I don't know, it's just plastic in it. I've managed to clean all that detritus off the bath, and I've resealed all the way around. I put a slightly thicker bead on than I normally would. Just got a few little bits to finish off, just got to have a little bit of hoover up, but these are all new carpets anyway. So it's coming together. I don't normally take on these jobs, but it's a job in it, so we do it. Just changed this solenoid on this water heater. These are a pain, to be honest with you. The plastic threads on brass, these won't let any water through until that solenoid activates. It's got two floats on these. It's got a high level one and a low level one. So I wasn't actually 100% sure if that solenoid is going to do it, or the board. There's two boards on these. So in a minute, this will be full. The high level board should shut off, and then the bottom one, yeah, and then it should stop filling. And we should get some hot water out of the taps. But yeah, they're an absolute pain to swap. You've got no space and the plastic threads. This will take a couple of minutes to fill up. It is a 25 litre one, and then we should be able to open the tap and it should start heating up then. That's finished filling up now. That took about 2 minutes. I did just crack the drain off to make sure we were getting full flow. So now when we open this tap, this will cough and splutter. Beautiful. This is what we want getting before. It won't let anything through. It'll take a few minutes, well, it'll take about 20 minutes to heat up, but at least we're getting water out of the tap now. I'm pretty relieved that that is actually filling up. As soon as we open that tap, that unit's filling now, and that will cut off in a second. But yeah, it's cut off. I've been cut out by these on the PCBs though. Turn this back on. The thing that annoys me about these is a massively overcomplicated way of filling 25 litres up. Why not just have a ball valve going in the top and then the hot water drawer out the bottom and then an immersion heater? These have got an immersion heater in there, but again, it's a special one. So you'd have to order that. I mean, I don't know if it's going to heat up yet, but it just won't filling up. Temperature's on eco. It should be fine. I suppose what I could have done with this to test it is potentially put a magnet on there. It might have lifted it. But this won't let anything through until that opens. I guess it's just a magnet inside though. It's just a solenoid, isn't it? So in theory I probably could have done that, but at least it's fixed it anyway. Let's check this one. It's probably cough and splutter a little bit. Hopefully it heats up. Yeah, it's coming a little bit warm. Beautiful. This one's a problem with hot water not reaching the far end of the building quickly enough. I'm just running through this heat trace. I think it's gone. So replace unit contact. I think DN25 it probably is. 22mm pipe. Trying to reset it. that one, I think. So that's doing something now that it wasn't doing before. So hopefully this is working. I'll take the details off the unit anyway. Is it coming up with any error codes? No. So hopefully that should maintain economy temperature, maintain at 55. All this does, because you can't run a secondary return on a combi, it's got a heat trace on the pipe to maintain that temperature to the far end of the building. So that's come back on now. So the complaint was no hot water to the far end, but if you run the taps long enough it does come through. This lagging should be marked up really to tell you it's got a heat trace on it. But we'll see. I mean, I'm not going to know straight away. It's going to take a while to build back up, but hopefully that's done something. Boiler does kick in when you open the tap, so it's getting a demand, and all the taps at the near end work. It's just not picking it up on that far end. I've set it to PM as well because I got the wrong time on that. So this will cut off at 5. They're only here till 5 anyway, and hopefully it comes up with the temperature. So 55, yeah, maintain 55. Hopefully that's working now. It's coming through now. That's going to conclude this video. Thank you so much for watching. Apologies, it's been a little bit bitty, but I just wanted to use some of the footage up that had got saved from the last couple of months, just to try and make it into a bit of an interesting video. There's probably going to be no video on Friday, just because I'm working the weekend before. So this video goes out the Monday. I'm working the Saturday, Sunday, and it's bank holiday, and I'm going away. So I'm having a few days off. I will get a video out for the Monday, so a week today, and I'll try and make it a banger. I've had a few interesting jobs. Me and Aidan went to a job, when was it, the other day, and I just had this feeling something was going to go wrong. Anyway, the job went all right, and there was just a slight weep on a 54mm valve. Well, I'll show you a little bit at the end. I was holding against him, we didn't even touch it, and the 54mm valve just came straight off. Luckily it didn't do any damage, but by it you move fast. And when you look at the thing, you can tell by the lag in the pipe, the lever valve, the olive, wasn't even on. It was literally hanging on by a wing and a prayer. And I went to a job, well, I priced it, I didn't look at it quite properly, but it was all butane, and every single joint was leaking. I thought they were all on copper drops, but there was 2 of them where I had to, was there 2 or 4? I think it was 4 of them where I had to join. So I had to buy myself a butane gun. I've never come across this stuff before. It's just like, it's not got an O-ring in it. You just literally squeeze it together and it joins it. So I had to buy that and a bag of adapters, because you can't buy the bag of adapters individually. I think that gun cost me, well, it cost me nearly 200 quid with the adapters, because I needed it the next day as well. So they charged me nearly 40 quid carriage on it. Ridiculous price for something I literally used once. That's supposed to be one-handed operation as well. I'm not moaning, but you literally, when you've got that on a fit, you cannot squeeze that one-handed. I don't know, you need to have hands the size of Hulk or something. But yeah, you guys have a great bank holiday weekend. I'll stop waffling. And as I say, I'll get you a banging video out for the Monday, hopefully. So whatever you're doing, have a peaceful one, have a restful one, have a fantastic one, and we'll catch you all in a week's time. Well, that's probably one of the scariest things that's ever happened. I was holding against Aidan, we just nipped that up, and that valve just popped straight off there on that 54mm feed.
Didn't even nip it up.
No, it just literally just fell off. It's only just been on that whole time. It's just had a slight little drip on it, so we just thought, oh, nip it up. Wallop. Luckily we got the power off to everything. Managed to jump up in the roof and I've capped the tank off. You alright, mate? Just cold.
Yeah.
That's alright. I've got some spare t-shirts in the van. Yeah, we'll have to. Literally, it's never been on. You can tell by the lagging.